Hello, everyone. It's Rebecca, your Akashic Records facilitator with the Santosha Way, where I teach about living well within the energies at play. You can find out more about me and the services I offer at thesantoshaway.com. And today we are talking about the new moon in Sagittarius. You'll want to be sure to stick around for the Akashic Records energy work that we will do at the end of this video that's going to help you access your highest potential under this new moon. But first, let's talk about what this one's all about. It's kind of a big one because it is the last new moon of this year. So you can set intentions to kind of carry you through this holiday season and into next year. What do you want to be bringing forward 6 months from now when we reach that Sagittarius full moon? All right, this is a time to really connect in with your higher self and call forward the bigger vision for your life right now. This new moon is happening at 20 degrees Sagittarius. So if you have planets in your natal chart at 18 to 22 degrees, you will have a personal aspect to this moon and therefore feel it more intensely in some way. Now, intense doesn't mean bad, so just relax when you hear words like that. You may have a fire trine, which would give you more oomph to carry out your plans at this time, right? This new moon is happening on Tuesday, December 12th at 3:32 p.m. for the Pacific time zone, 5:32 p.m. Central time, and 6:32 p.m. Eastern time. And it's happening in the sign of the Archer, who shoots his arrows out far up into the sky, shooting for the stars, right? It's ruled by Jupiter, which is our planet of expansion and growth. It's often associated with luck and abundance, and it's known as our guru. Keep in mind, Jupiter is considered a benefact planet, so it would be one who brings good fortune. However, when we really look at Jupiter, we also want to just consider it's excessive. It's the ability to also go over the top, right? So abundance can be wonderful, but if it's abundance in things we don't want, that's a little over the top, right? Just keep that in mind when we think about Jupiter. Now, Sagittarius is the adventurer, the wanderlust, the risk taker, right? It's that energy of, nobody ever wins that isn't afraid to take a chance and risk it all to begin with, right? It's associated with the 9th house of the bigger picture. Higher learning, wisdom, travel, exploration, expansion, growth. This is the house of our belief systems, including religion and politics, as well as all things foreign or from a distant land, concepts, philosophies, foods, even foreign policies. The 9th house is associated with higher truths, grandparents, college, broadcasting and publishing, as well as world events. Now, Sagittarius is about the world at large and the bigger picture versus Gemini, which is on the opposite axis, is all about the details and what's in your own backyard, right? Gemini is one of those that examines like black and white, opposing truths, duality, polarity, or those known personal truths that we have, where Sagittarius seeks the truth, the highest truth, and it's passionate about its beliefs. But in Sagittarius, our current beliefs are going to be challenged to expand into more. Now, Sagittarius can also be one of those energies that knows it all and is so strong in their belief system that they are not realizing that maybe they don't know it all in this moment, right? So keep that in mind as you're considering this energy right now. The main thing here, though, is how big can you open up to receive and believe in something bigger than yourself? Well, this lunation is about the 9th house for the collective energy. What house this plays out in your personal natal chart is going to depend on your rising or ascendant sign. If you're over and phased by the moon on Facebook, I let people know what house this is in for them based on their big 3, which is your rising or ascendant sign, your sun, and your moon signs. I encourage you to join us over there. I'll have the links down below if you are interested. They do have access to all of my specials and service offers not found on my website over there. Whether you feel called to join us in Phased by the Moon or not, you can also put your big three in the comments below, and I will come in to let you know here on YouTube as well what area of life you're going to have this fresh start in based on your rising, sun, and moon signs. So let me know below. Go ahead and like this video while you're at it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and comment below or just say hi. Share the video if you feel called. I genuinely appreciate all of your support with these things, and it really does help me get my content out to others. It helps grow my business, the Santosha way, and just gets the awareness about us out there. So I appreciate that. Now, a new moon is when the sun and the moon come together in the same sign, and it's our opportunity to begin again, have a fresh start. We want to consider that what we want to seek to harvest with this moon cycle over the next 29 and a half days. That's how long a moon cycle is. But more importantly, we also want to consider that greater 6-month cycle that we're going to be working towards reaching by the Sagittarius full moon, which is going to be May 23rd of 2024. So as you're setting these intentions, you want to keep this smaller cycle in mind and that bigger 6-month cycle. And of course, you want to consider, where do you want to be when we're sitting here next year at this time, back in Sagittarius season, preparing to begin again in this area of our life? What do you want to have accomplished in the next 12 months? So we look at our rising or ascendant sign to see where this is happening in our life. It tells us what area of our chart this will be in. And we also consider our sun sign for how this is going to personally affect us from an ego place, our core self. And then our moon sign tells us a little bit more about our emotional body and where our emotions might be stirred under this energy. The main theme of this new moon is about taking action on something that you're passionate about before you have all the details. You're going to have to move in the direction of something before you fully understand it, before you know how it's going to go, before you know if you'll even want to continue going in that direction at all. It's one of those more pieces will be revealed as you get going down the path kind of moon. And aren't they all? In some ways they are, because at the point of the new moon, so much is hidden from us. It's dark, it's unknown, and there's more to come. There's more to find out as we go. But this one is more so like that. And that's because this is the last new moon of the year. It's a little bit more special. It holds some delicious creation energy for the new year ahead, mostly considering 6 months from now. There's a lot of delicious energy that will be coming in from the intentions that we're setting right now and the actions that we take. This one's really important to take actions around. By the time we reach Pisces season, which is in February, you're going to have more information, and you'll know if you want to keep going down this path or if you want to kind of fork off in a different direction at that point. Whatever passions are calling you forward now, or anything that you're being called to study at this time, go for it, right? It might be something that goes back to February of this year that maybe came up to your awareness and you really weren't interested in at that time for whatever reason. You might have had some limiting beliefs in the way, or some fears that kept you from pursuing these passions, or maybe a lack of confidence, maybe even just a lack of interest. Maybe it just was like, yeah, I'm not interested. You may be inspired to revisit them now and take action on them now. So keep this in mind. It is definitely time for us to go beyond what we've known before and discover a different perspective. Don't let the fact that you don't have all the details yet keep you from going on this journey. The details will be discovered along the way. This is such an important thing to understand. When we're talking about Sagittarius, we're talking about the 9th house. And oh my goodness, boy, do I know all about this. I've just recently completed my 9th house perfection year. Those who are over in the Face by the Moon group on Facebook know a little bit more about me and what I've been doing. If you're new to my channel, you may not really know much, but this past year I've been on a journey. First off, I spent a whole year getting rid of all of my things and consciously uncoupling from a relationship that I was in for 10 years, right? Because I was called forward to go on a journey and I didn't understand it and I didn't know what I was doing. And up until a month before I left, I didn't even know exactly where I was going to be staying. I knew I was going to Florida, but I didn't know where, and I hadn't picked my destination yet. It was there was a lot of anxiety in my body, right? I feel it rising up right now. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of fears, like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal, right? But I knew that if I did not step out, that I would regret it for the rest of my life. If I didn't go on this journey, I was being called, I was being pulled. So keep that in mind right now. This may be an energy under this Sagittarius new moon where you don't feel a super duper strong calling or pulling towards anything really big, and that's okay. It may be something small, like, I think I want to study astrology next or whatever, right? But follow those pulls that you are being drawn towards. It's a time of exploration. Here's what I can tell you about what it's like to go on a journey like this, and what you want to keep in mind as you're setting intentions under this new moon, okay? You want to do it with an open heart, very open heart, and a curious mind. Go for what you're passionate about discovering and knowing without needing to know what it looks like to actually have the experience. One thing that my guides kept telling me is, we just got to get you to Florida. Like, don't worry about what happens once you get there. We got to get you there, and then we'll get more details when we get there. And that was very challenging for me because I wanted the answers first, right? Let go of the need to know the answers. Feel any resistance and fear that arises in your body and lean in anyway. It was extremely scary because at the time I was booking my place and trying to figure out where I was going. There was a major hurricane going through. It had me reworking all the details. I was looking at the particular area, basically where the hurricane ended up hitting. So I had to rethink things and go, well, let me look at a different area of Florida, right? So keep your mind curious and your heart open and be ready to shift and change and roll with it as information does come in and you need to shift and change, right? So any resistance that you feel, any fear and anxiety that arises, lean in anyway. Feel it and lean in. Lean all the way in. Be willing to discover the bigger picture that your soul is calling you towards. My soul had some major soul lessons and discoveries that it wanted me to learn over this year. Okay? Your soul is calling you forward into something right now as well. It might feel scary to go into the unknown, and you might run into some new truths that shake the very core of your foundations. This is the purpose of Sagittarius energy. But when you've regained your footing, and you found that new, firmer foundation to stand upon of the higher truths that your higher self is wanting to bring down to you, that wisdom gained from embarking on this journey, you get it from embarking on the journey itself. Like, you don't get it any other way than going on this journey. Then and only then do you get to operate from this new level of personal truth that nobody can take away from your life experience because it's your personal truth. Go on the journey. It is worth it. Be it blood, sweat, and tears, it's still all worth it. I promise you. You might fall, but you can never truly fail because you will always gain that deeper wisdom when you dance with wild and passionate abandon into the unknown with your own higher self. It's so worth it, guys. What is your soul calling you towards under this new moon? Maybe going on a physical journey. Maybe it's writing a book, beginning a new career, or stepping into the world with a brave new look. Y'all, the last new moon video, or the last moon video in general that I made for you, I had blonde hair. I went back to my roots after 10 years of dyeing it blonde. Talk about feeling the fear and moving into action anyway. It was like, I just have to do this. I feel like I need to do this. It's something I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to try a more natural look. I've been feeling it every time I go do my hair. I've been discussing it even with my former stylist back home. Before I ever left home, I would say, oh, I think I want to go back natural. I really don't like coming in and getting my hair done. I finally just had to say, it's now or never. You got to do it. And it was really scary because I love my blonde hair. And you know, guys, I make videos. What if this looks awful? What if it turns out bad, right? You have to feel the fear and move into action anyway. You can always course correct later. If I decide that I hate this, I can always go back to blonde. Give it some time, no big deal, right? So step into action. That's what you're being called to do right now. Whatever it is, whatever the level is of life that you're being called towards, it is going to require a little bit of bravery and a little bit of boldness like never before. So what are you being called towards? If you need help discovering that, I have a really great journey you can listen to in the Akashic Records. It's called Return to Aldebaran, and it can help you discover what your soul intended for this lifetime. I'll have the link below where you can check that out and get a copy, or you can always book an Akashic Records session and have a personal reading and discovery. The thing to remember right now, I want y'all to keep this in mind, okay? Anxiety and excitement create the same chemical reaction in your physical body. The only difference is one is a fear-based emotion and the other is love-based. Let's say that again. Anxiety and excitement create the same physical reaction, chemical reactions in your body, biological reactions in your body. Excitement and anxiety are the same chemical reactions going on inside you. One is fear-based, one is love-based. So when you feel the anxiety rising up in your body, transmute that fear into love and excitement about what blessings are in store for you along the way, what could go really well for you, what you could discover, and how exciting it could be. Let's take a look at the energetic influences at play under this new moon and how they're going to show up for us to help open you up to that authentic and passionate calling for this new moon. And for those who are called, do consider the houses that these energies are at play in your own natal chart for a better understanding about what's going to happen in your personal life at this time. And if you're not there from an astrological perspective, don't worry about that. Take in the information that you can, and then next we'll go into the energy work portion of this video. All right, so the sun and the moon are together in Sagittarius. That's what's creating the new moon. And the new moon is conjunct Mars. This means that Mars is sitting here right next to the sun and the moon as well. And this is what's going to give us that passionate energy, that really strong drive and motivation to begin this fresh start. And it's one of those things, because Mars is involved, we're going to be required to take action. It's going to be important to take action. We can't just put intentions out there and let them be at this time. We need to actually move into action. The new moon here, so we're talking about the sun and the moon, and we're going to go ahead and include Mars in that energy as well. This new moon energy is trining both Chiron at 15 degrees, which is our wounded healer, and the North Node at 21 degrees in Aries. So the North Node is about our destiny points. Whatever we're doing right now involves our destiny paths, soul plans, and it's something that we are able to do now that maybe we couldn't do back in February because of the healing that we have experienced over the course of this year to that sacred I am energy, because this is all happening in Aries, which is our I am. All right. So whatever is coming back around for us is something that we can take action on. It's it has our name written on it because it's the North Node involved. Our destiny is mixed into this. Our soul plan is mixed into this. And there's a lot more healing that's taken place. We're going to be able to move beyond old relationship patterns as well, because it's also trining Since the North Node's involved, the South Node is involved. It's also trining the South Node. And we're going to be moving out of maybe people-pleasing tendencies, embracing a new way of being, because that South Node energy is in Libra. And we're moving away from some of those energies and into a more healed, embodied, I am sovereign energy where we can just move into action here. All right. The next energy at play, moon, this new moon is squaring Neptune at 24 degrees Pisces. And this is asking us to consider the spiritual aspect in whatever we're doing. It's encouraging us to push past our fears into trusting the soul plan and taking that leap of faith into the unknown. You guys are going to have to leave your comfort zone for this one. It's going to call you forward into something bigger that you've just never done before. All right. It's going to really ask you to leap into the unknown. The ego, guys, our ego needs to know the answers. The intuition of the soul, it trusts. It trusts that all will be revealed in perfect timing. It moves forward in faith in spite of not having all the answers yet. We'll discover them along the way. You know, it's that I trust in the plan. I trust my higher self. I trust myself to follow my own intuition. I trust that I know what's right for me along the way. I trust that everything will come together. It's that kind of energy we're being called into. So with this transit, there is a potential, though, for some blind faith, right? Optimism is very much active under this energy, which is great. And curiosity is something we definitely want to make sure that we're bringing to the table. But we can certainly have those rose-colored glasses on, or even a little bit of delusion. So just keep this in mind. Neptune brings with it some low visibility. And because we're working with things that we cannot fully see, but we're dissolving and moving beyond these boundaries and limitations with Pisces. So just keep all of this in mind. Another thing we want to look at here is Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of this lunation, right? Jupiter is the guru and over Sagittarius. So it's currently retrograde right now in Taurus. And it's trining Mercury in Capricorn, which is stationing retrograde within hours of this new moon. So it's kind of a big deal right there. And this creates a whole storyline within itself about being patient. We've been patiently working towards something with Jupiter being retrograde right now. Mercury's wanting to know all the details before it proceeds, especially Mercury in Capricorn. And it's needing us to step out in faith anyway. We're not going to have those details. We need to step out in faith. So under this Mercury retrograde period, do not overthink it. We're going to have 2 more Jupiter trine Mercury points during the Mercury retrograde season that's going to bring us more information in time, playing out through January of next year. So get moving now. The details are going to have to be worked and reworked and come back in and go back out. I haven't talked a whole lot about Mercury retrograde. I have talked a little bit about it, I think, in the last moon video and over in Phased by the Moon. In general, I don't want to go into a whole lot of it for this video, but Mercury will start in Capricorn. It will retrograde back into Sagittarius. While it's in Capricorn during that time period, which is going to be through the 22nd of December, while it's in Capricorn, we can get a lot more tangible physical things taken care of. And then once Mercury goes back into Sagittarius, it's going to be a little bit more scattered. Mercury does not really like being in Sagittarius. It's like information overload almost. So this Mercury retrograde has an opportunity to really, we can get hung up in overthinking, and we want to move forward and sort the details out as we go along. There's going to be reworking and revisiting things, revisiting and regenerating a passion here is what we're doing. And you just leave room, leave space to rework things, reworking things throughout this month, reworking things throughout the new year. As information comes out, be ready to shift and change. Oh, there's a hurricane here. Let me look. Where else would I want to go? Oh, this isn't working out. What are my other options? Oh, what's the backup plan? And you don't have to have a backup plan. You have to, you can have some ideas in mind, you can have some thoughts, but really in the moment, the inspiration is going to come. The energy here is about understanding that there is a solution available to you at all times. You just have to be open to receive it, right? So the new moon also makes an aspect to Uranus, which is in Taurus as well. And it's called a quincunx or an inconjunct aspect. And this means something needs to be eliminated or some common ground needs to be found. It's like wanting to go on an adventure, but being afraid to leave home, right? Or the desire for the freedom of having, leaving the workplace and being a freelancer and being out on your own, like here I am, I work from anywhere. I can work from anywhere, right? And travel wherever. But then if you're so afraid that you need that stability, and I have a strong desire for stability, well then those are two opposing things, Stability is the routine and the ritual of getting up and going in and having that paycheck every week, where stepping out into freedom means you create your paycheck and you have the opportunity to create limitless money, but you don't have that guarantee, right? So these are the energies that will come up, and something has to be eliminated. You have to decide, do I want to release my insecurities and fears and step out and do this anyway, or do I want to sit in my comfort zone and stay where I am? You're going to have to face some unpredictable unknowns in order to have the life that you truly desire. And this is where faith and spirituality are going to come into play to guide you through this opportunity before you. This is where Jupiter, the guru, and Neptune, our spiritual connection to our higher self, is going to say, hey, come on now, let's do this. We will guide you through this. We've got you. Just step out in faith and start taking action now. We're definitely regenerating something under this lunation, and it does have to do with the bigger picture. And it's going to come, that bigger picture comes before all those details come into focus. We're going to review them along the way, rework our plans as we go, with that Mercury stationing retrograde only hours after this lunation. But we must move into action now, or else we're never going to get to the next stages. This new moon literally requires us to reach for a new level of faith and action that asks us to go after our passions. Be mindful of over-promising and under-delivering at this time, trying to commit to too much. You want to be realistic about your timelines and what you're actually capable of doing. If you have something that seems like a great idea, write it down over here to the side, but maybe you don't announce it and make it public until you're actually ready to implement it, right? Because you do not want to overpromise and under-deliver in this moment. Nothing is ever guaranteed, but you do not know until you try what you might actually achieve. So absolutely dream big under this new moon. It's about what you want to bring forward and move towards and cultivate for that first half of the 2024 year, for the rest of this year, and then start moving into action with childlike curiosity, optimism, and loads of faith. I wonder how great this can be. I wonder what solutions are going to show up to help me get down this path, right? It is definitely recommended that you set your new moon intentions before the moon moves into Capricorn on the 13th under this lunation, because we can really lose our momentum quickly with this one and start second guessing ourselves as soon as Mercury stations retrograde. It's definitely a lunation to get out of your head and into your body. And if you're looking for a ritual for this new moon, I recommend that you speak your intentions into a flame. This is a very powerful way to call forward energies. And when you do this, you'll want to, of course, practice fire safety, please, but let the candle or the flame burn all the way out. You don't snuff out that fire because that's snuffing out your intentions. So it's really great if you use just one of those little tea light candles, let it burn all the way, and trust that you are putting your intentions out there. But then you're going to have to move into physical action. Now, if you need something to help you get the juices flowing and that passionate energy going in your life, dancing and movement is really great, and it's wonderful for fire energy. Let's go ahead and shift gears for a minute. Bring ourselves into a nice calm place and do the energy work portion of this video. Now, we are going to be doing this in the Akashic Records, so please do not operate heavy machinery or listen to this while you are driving. Please treat this as if you would a meditation. You can always pause the video and come back later if you would want to. But let's go ahead and just take some calming, relaxing breaths. Bringing myself into a place of peace. Moving into the Akashic Records, opening up and expanding this energy for the collective of any and all who are watching this video. Anyone who wants to participate, just acknowledge that you are participating. Let's activate the Akashic Heart Opener. And we really want to open up our heart spaces. We want to expand in this energy, open up to the potential and the possibility. You might even want to do some open heart openers with your arms, cactus them out to the side. And you might even give yourself a big hug and bend over. It's just kind of expanding your heart space. Do a couple of those. Really get that heart space really wide and open. The universe is a love-based universe. We're opening up into that. We're going to start running white light through our chakra systems and our energy fields. And we're asking that we're releasing any and all fears, insecurities, anywhere we feel like maybe we're not good enough or unable to do the things that we feel like we're being called towards. Anywhere where we feel lacking, whether that's a lack of motivation, a lack of desire, or a lack of creativity, releasing that into the ground at this time and letting it be transmuted by the earth. We want to transmute and alchemize any and all fears that are coming up for you right now, doubt. Transmute them into faith, belief, hope, trust, knowing, faith in this love-based universe. I am divinely guided. I am divinely supported. I am divinely called forward. We want to go ahead and invite in our passions and our desires, our soul's calling into the forefront of our awareness now. And if you don't have your eyes closed, go ahead and close them. And just breathe. Because now we're going to ignite our passion and our inner flame, asking that that divine spark of inspiration come forward to us now and light up like a holy fire within our vessel, flaming all around us. And let's go ahead and invite in our childlike wonder, curiosity, optimism, trust in the divine plan, in the calling, the path forward, strengthening and fortifying our faith in this love-based universe. And if you're open to working with fairy energy, fairies are really great for curiosity and childlike wonder, and you can invite those in to your life experience at this time. Of course, we're asking for the highest and best good of all and the highest frequencies to come forward only. And if you do not wish to work with the fairies, you do not have to. That's not a problem. We are expanding our openness and willingness at this time to explore and move into action, to go beyond that which we know, the known confines of our limited views and perspectives, as we step out into the bigger picture of our life's purpose, that bigger vision, that dream, that seed that was placed deep within our heart, asking that it begin to flourish and grow at this time, making itself known to us, allowing any and all anxiety that arises from the fears of the unknowns and all the what ifs to be alchemized into love-based truths, pure excitement and joy for the journey ahead, trust in the universe, trust that whatever I come across, whatever I run into, whatever situations show up as I'm pursuing my passions, there will be a solution presented to me as well. There are many solutions, many ways, many paths to get to where I am going. And I am open to walking the most optimal path for myself, for the highest good of all. Inviting in our universal support system now, inviting in our guides and our angels that are available to us to help us all along the way. Open up to this guidance now, welcome it in, and begin looking for the physical evidence of that which you're being directed towards. Activating bravery and boldness to take action and move forward into the soul's calling. Anchoring in your root chakra, anchoring you into the Earth Star chakra so that you can bring forward these passions into the earth, into this reality. Go ahead and put your palms out, your hands out, palms facing up. Say thank you for opening me up to the freedom, growth, and expansion before me now. I am so appreciative to know that there are solutions for every circumstance or challenge that comes into my awareness. I know that I am divinely guided, and I welcome in the divine inspiration now to lead me towards my highest soul's calling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, let's seal this in, lock it in, anchor it in, into this time, this space, this realm, and this reality, so that you may go forth and move forward in your divinely inspired passions that are calling you into the biggest adventure of your life, that are calling you forward into a new day, a new journey, a new adventure, and a new passion and drive for your life. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close up the Akashic Records and disconnect from the collective energy. And let's wrap this up, guys. What is your soul calling you towards under this new moon? What fears and limiting beliefs are you being asked to expand beyond? Connect in with your higher self and call forward that bigger vision for your life right now. If you need help discovering what that is, check out that journey on my website, Return to Aldebaran, to discover what your soul intended for this lifetime. Book an Akashic Records session and have a one-on-one reading. Or if you feel called to join Akashic Alignments, y'all, this membership, I have so many wonderful alignments and activations in there, including one for the nervous system. There's a foundational chakra activation. I just did a terra firma activation the other day that was really super powerful. And it really, all of these things just help anchor you into a more grounded place of being for your journey. I do encourage you to check out that membership as well. And I am opening up the Santosha Way Tribe at the winter solstice. So that's my space where I really teach about living well within the energies at play. I have a lot of wonderful stuff planned for that space if you're interested. Now, the Akashic Alignments membership is normally $49 a month. And just keep in mind, if you join after January 1st, the price is going to be going up to $54 a month. So if you're interested in that and you want to get in on that before the end of this year, and if you're over in phase by the moon, be sure to check out my winter offerings, because there's an extra special rate that you can get in with and lock in that special rate for the Akashic Alignments membership in the winter offerings only over in Phase by the Moon on Facebook. So I'm going to have all the links below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with your rising sun and moon sign, or just say hello. And be sure to share this video if you received any value out of it. It really helps me expand my business and the awareness of the Santosha Way and who I am. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, may you be Santosha.